Hi everybody, Martyn at Flicking Feathers again today. I'm tying this dark olive. It's a variation of a Cathal rush fly, and you can find the original in the Peter O'Reilly's book, The Flies of Ireland. As always, I'll stick a materials list in the description, along with a link to the Patreon page for anyone who wants to support the channel, get access to the members only content, as well as the Zoom tie-in sessions, and be entered into the giveaways. Or you can just subscribe, hit the bell button. That's all appreciated. So I've got my hook and my vise. It's a size 10 B175. You can also tie these with B170s if you want it a bit lighter, and you can certainly go smaller 12s, maybe a 14 if you want. And I've run on just some brown 80 uni down to the barb, start at the bend. I'm just catching in some medium opal Mirage. And I'm going to make myself a wee tag of this. So I'm just going to brush some super glue onto the tag on the side that's going to touch the hook, and then I'll just wrap it back down around the bend, and it'll stick as it goes, and it'll give me a nice, durable, robust pearly tag. Now, I don't know if you can see in the camera, I don't know if it's picking it up because of the glare, but there's a couple of wee beads of super glue has come through. That sometimes happens, but don't worry about it. All you need to do, don't touch it with your finger, just come in with your needle, get a wee rub, and then I'm going to come in with some varnish. Right, I've just a very light coat of varnish. You don't need to be using UV resin for this. The varnish is probably better actually. It grips the tinsel better as it sets, and it's not really any slower, right? So by the time I put a wee bit of wax in my thread, run up and tidy up, and get back to my tie-in point, that'll be nearly dry anyway. So my tail's in two parts. The first is some golden pheasant tippet dyed hot orange, and when you're picking your feather, I always pick one that's the black bars are about a shank length apart, right? That gives you the right size every time. I'm just going to come in, get myself a good half dozen, and I pull the feather away. I don't move these, right? I do not change my grip on these at all. I'm just going to come in now and offer that up so the black bar is just at my tie-in point, and then I know it's always the right length. And my thread, obviously it's waxed, there's plenty of grip, but they're all nicely aligned. And then we'll cut this to the length of the body. Leave yourself plenty of room at the front. I'm going to come up. I've got 8 strands here of Globrite number 7. You can use 6 if you want it a bit darker, a bit richer orange. I'm just going to catch that in, and I just draw it back, take a couple of wraps back just so it doesn't ping free, then we'll tighten up once I'm at the body length on my waist, right back to the tie-in point. Then I'll trim this about half the length of the tippet, like that. Just get that wee look, that's fine. The rib is copper wire. Just a small, it'll be fine. Catch that in. Just tidy everything up. Then I'm going to get some dark olive. I mean, this is nearly a sooty olive really. It's pretty dark. Silver. It's the Rob Denson stuff. It's very good silver you get off Rob. And get my noodle. I'll just come back. And when I'm at the rear, I'll just push it up. Once it's anchored, you can tighten it as you go if you need to. And just build up your body. And just sweep everything back. Now, in Peter's book, there's no body hackle listed, but in the photograph, the fly had a body hackle, and it looks to be the same as the head hackle, which is a kind of red game, a dark red game, and that's the hackle I've always put on it. I went with it. Usually, if there's a tie-in book, if there's a pattern book, and there's obviously mistakes in them quite often, I always go with the picture of the fly rather than the listed dressing. So this is just a kind of red game saddle hackle. It's kind of fun to say it's got the bar in the middle, but it's fine, nice and dark. So I'm going to get a good couple of turns, maybe 3 at the front, and then come down the body. And 3 turns, and I'll catch it with my rib, nice and tight, and then just up the body. If you go quick, you don't catch that many fibres, and I always like to take a full wrap of wire at the head before I catch it off. This just helps lock the hackle fibres out of the way, stops them coming to the front. You can tidy up. Get the Velcro, get a wee rough up, draw that steel fur into the hackle, brush it back, you can roll your fingers over it, just sort of sweep it, and then you can snap away that hackle. The wing is bronze mallard. Doesn't need to be super heavy, but it's up to yourself. Some folk like a heavier wing. Just get a section, we'll roll it up. Once I've got a reasonably good slip, I'll just offer it in. Lengthwise, I mean, something like that, kind of coming into the tail is ideal, I think. I'll just fold that over, pinch and loop it in to have a wee look. That looks not bad to me. Got a wee bit wax in my thread. Take 2 or 3 wraps there just to lock it in, and then trim away. I'll just tidy this up. Then the head hackle, I'm just got to use a hen. Again, a kind of red game, furnace-y red game. It's nice. I mean, obviously if you want to, you can use an olive hackle. I mean, you use a sooty olive hackle, you get a much darker olive effect. But this, I think the mix of the colours is actually a wee bit better. Just broke that tip away, and then just fold it in the wee fibres back, and then I'm just going to fold the hackle. And this is longer than the body hackle. I'm just going to take it a turn in front of the other. It shouldn't slip because it's on that bed of wax thread. Quite like that. It's about 3 turns there, I think, 3 or 4. I wasn't counting. Tie it off, fold everything back. Make your head. Snap that away. There's a wee fibre there, I just trim off. And just make sure it's nice and tidy, you've got a nice shape. That'll do it. And whip finish. I like to put 2 in, as you know. And there you go, a bit varnish. And that is a dark olive, as I say, a Cathal rush platinum, or a variant of it. It's a good, it's a good fly when there's olives about. It's a good top dropper, and then you fish something smaller behind it, like a wee Blaine olive or something. It can also be quite a good middle dropper pattern in a mayfly hatch. It's just that wee bit smaller. You fish, I don't know, like a French partridge up above, and then a gosling in the point, and this wee dark fly in the middle can sometimes pick up a fish. But as I say, it's well worth tying. So I hope that was useful. I hope you enjoyed it. If you did, please remember to give me a thumbs up below and subscribe to the channel. Tight lines, guys. Bye.